All right, everybody, this is Cali Cat Tap Talks, and I've got Madison, and she looks really young, but she's got an amazing story that everybody needs to hear. She's a winemaker, and she started her own winery. So go ahead, Madison. Tell us about your story.
So it started. Well, actually, first, thank you very much for having me on your show. This is such an honor and a privilege as we're entering this new growth journey here in 2026. I guess it started back in 2016 when I was working at a bar and they were doing these really fancy wine and food pairing dinners. And that led to a lot of discovery about how you can have the same grape, but it can be grown in different regions and it's completely different for different styles. So that led down a sommelier journey, which eventually turned into working at a winery. They needed a little bit of help in the vineyard. That kind of explored that side. And then I got to experience my first harvest. And I really learned that I wanted to make the wine. That was the best part. The coolest thing about the wine industry is your training can take you to so many different avenues. You can be in the restaurant scene, you can be in the food and beverage industry, you can be on like the chemistry making it side. It's also the same around the world. So I was fortunate enough to be able to travel with the knowledge that I have. And I went to New Zealand, Australia, California. That's kind of where then COVID came in, the pandemic, and it ruined some of my plans. And just from kind of sitting there, I was living at a winery at the time. And me and my husband both worked there. And we were like, huh, should we do this? So we packed up our bags, we moved away from our friends and our family. We purchased our first property that was 11 acres, and we decided to build a winery from the ground up.
Wow. And where are you at right now?
So we are located in Summerland in the Okanagan Valley in beautiful British Columbia, Canada.
Wow. Yeah, that place is beautiful. Very beautiful. So, with the background you prepared us for, did you have anything to tell us, the learning, how you did it from scratch? I know you said you had to leave to go over here. I mean, what was that really journey? Was that like an emotional journey for you?
Definitely emotional, very chaotic. Definitely messy. I think that's what business is. If someone tells you it's not, I think they're lying to you, or maybe they haven't done it themselves yet. It was a lot of learning experience. Not only being a first time property owner, this was our first time owning 11 acres. That comes with its own challenge. We were also in a different region than what we had grown up in. So we're in a very dry, we live just outside of the only desert in Canada, a Soyuz. So that came with a lot of issues as well, too, that we had to learn. You just have to adapt and pivot. This was our first time going through building permits and working with contractors, sometimes good contractors, sometimes bad contractors. We've learned the legal system. We've learned all of these different regulatory bodies. At the end of the day, though, walking through our vineyard in full blossom, in all of the greenery that it presents, with the sun in the background, that's really what it's about. So as much as it was hard and messy to come by, a lot of personal growth, a lot of relationship growth, a lot of business growth. You truly don't know until you're doing it. What do they say? Hindsight is 2020. I feel like
Mhm.
a completely different person from 3 years ago when actually technically we started 5 years ago. We just opened up to the public 3 years ago, which as well, building it yourself in private is one thing, and then opening up to the public also came with all of its own different challenges. So we are still in a learning process for sure.
Okay, so how long did it take from the vision to the first bottle sold?
Ooh, I would say a good 2.5 years.
Really, that long?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
even just to ferment the product itself. So the building was one thing. We ran into some hiccups that we weren't necessarily expecting. But the actual fermentation process, like sourcing your fruit, and so we originally started with honey wine. We really wanted to start strong with good products, and wine is better aged. So that's the fermentation process takes a long time, the aging process takes a long time, and we are also very heavily regulated as well too. So that also comes with its own trials and tribulations.
Yeah. So what was the hardest part of building the winery that people on the outside never see? I know you talked about there's good and bad, contractors and stuff like that. But when you and your husband moved over there, did you say, "Oh, I want this piece of property," or did it take a minute to get this piece of property and then start building?
It took a minute for sure. We spent close to a year trying to even find the right property. We used to live just outside of Vancouver, a very expensive area. We were getting priced out left, right, and center. It was really hard to try. So that's why we moved away actually from what was our support network in order to get the property. Because we knew if we had the right property, then we would be able to make our dreams come true. We didn't want to force it. We wanted it to be natural, we wanted it to be organic. Yeah.
Wow. Can you tell us a mistake that taught you a very powerful lesson so that other people can learn?
Take a moment. We rushed. We rushed. We wanted it so fast. Now I think that we should have relaxed a little, could have taken a couple more deep breaths along the way. We really learned by doing, when that's a fantastic way to learn. But we probably could have been taken just yeah, exactly, just relaxed, just a few more deep breaths along the way.
Okay. So what almost stopped you from continuing and how did you push through it?
Ooh, good question. I don't know, the late nights spent crying. That's, um,
Over a good bottle of wine, right?
oh, definitely over way too many good bottles of wine, and because alcohol is such a regulated industry out here, there's so many other components that you don't have control over.
Mhm.
So it could be something like a building permit. It's supposed to come in 3 months. Ours didn't actually come for 9 months. That then our complete building was exposed over winter. We live in a northern climate. All of our pipes froze. So we weren't allowed to touch anything on the building until that permit came in. So like it was like little hiccups like that along the way, mostly not having fully control of the entire process. You're waiting on the liquor and cannabis branch for certain regulations. You're waiting on the city for certain permits. We also have a agriculture regulatory body out here as well that tells you what you can and can't grow and what you can do on your property. So there's a lot of components that I think we underestimated that were not in our control that did slow it down the process.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just like importing glass, so there was only one local glass supplier out here for the wine bottles, and then we have to import the rest, and then you're dealing with a whole other different world with different countries and tariffs and import fees, and just sometimes there's just not glass available. It was I think 2022, there was a big glass shortage, and we actually had to buy the most expensive glass bottles, which turned out to be a good marketing. And a lot of people really liked those bottles we chose, but it ended up having a higher end cost. And those were just things we can't control. I can't blow my own glass, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
If I could figure it out, I would.
You'd be a very rich woman if you can. So, have you ever had any bad
I'm sorry, one more time.
harvest? Any bad harvest of your grapes or anything like that? Do you grow your
No,
grapes?
we've been lucky with that so far. So we are a very small winery. So that allows us to work. We grow our own grapes. We only have 2 acres, but we do source out from a lot of other growers as well. There's actually over 12,000 acres of grapes grown in British Columbia, and we just need a small portion of that. So
Mhm.
that's been nice. It has been tough the last 2 years, though. We have had very bad winters. So the first year we planted our vineyard, which is we've only planted 2 acres, but you're about 70,000 Canadian to plant per acre. We ended up having terrible, terrible weather. It was going over -35 here. Grapes don't really like to be past -30, and even that's a stretch. We were lucky enough we planted hybrids, so there is a little bit longevity, but we did lose about 35 to 40% of our vineyard in that first year. It hasn't quite affected us in the long term. We've been replanting, we've been putting care back into that vineyard. We actually just harvested our first grapes last year or last September,
Mhm.
so we'll have our first estate wine that's fully 100% Violet.
So, what do you think truly sets your winery apart in a crowded industry?
We are more experience based. We are very personable. I am one of the owners. I'm one of the winemakers. I am also in the tasting room every day. My husband's down there in the kitchen cooking. We are constantly surrounded by our customers.
Hmm.
Where I know a lot of wineries tend to market like a winemaker's dinner, come meet the winemaker once every 6 months. Whereas it's actually just us there all the time. We play all the hats. We're the vineyard manager, we're the winemaker, we're the sales team, we're the front of house, we're the back of house. So you really get a immersive experience with us. We also have a very casual winery. We're also a very casual winery. We wanted to create an environment where everyone's just friends. There's definitely a certain connotation and a certain image that's associated with wineries, and that's fantastic. That all has its place, but we like the drinking with friends in the backyard. We got this beautiful grassy area, these cabanas. We often hang out with our clients as well too, or customers, if the tasting room's not busy at the moment, because we want to meet who's drinking our wine. Like, we've put so much of our heart and soul into this product, and you're telling me that you came here? You drove all this way to come drink this product that I made? Like, yes, tell me more.
Yeah, you made it like a personal brand. So,
Yeah.
so how did you moved there, but how did you build your customer base, your reputation? Your reputation sounds like it's on more personal um, status, which is really really good. But how did you build it, not knowing anybody there?
Doing a lot of community work. So in the first few years, even before the winery was opening, we were sponsoring school teams, sport teams. Anytime someone was looking for a donation for something or a space to host an event, we were just really trying to get our name out there in the community, really support those around us. We also are a farm at the same time. I think people forget that being a winery, you are farming grapes. We do also farm animals as well. So the animals was a good lead. We were doing like seminars in schools, teaching kids about farming. We used to bring like little baby piglets to like preschool class and teach them. We did hatch a chick programs or hatch a duck programs where we bring the eggs, the fertilized eggs in, do the whole incubation process, and then they would raise the birds for a few weeks in the classroom. Then the birds would come back to the farm, and then the kids would come for a field trip later that year. So we really created a good community around it. I think that's
Wow,
certainly helped us in getting the word out there.
wow. So how has building this business changed you personally?
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I don't think I would recognize myself from 3 or 4 or 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, we just started so hot and heavy in this, and as much as like I'm now in my 10th year in the wine industry, but you really don't know until you're doing it. Working for someone else is so different from actually working for yourself. Patience, I have learned. Gotten really good at boundaries. Patience, boundaries, saying yes. You have to say yes to different things. It's to events, to trying new techniques, to I don't know, some kind of newspaper ad or a Facebook ad, and a lot of growth in terms of yourself. Getting a business coach, listening to podcasts, listening to the people who are telling their story. Listen to those people. We all have different stories for sure, but there is kind of certain things that overlap that I think a lot of us go through. And it doesn't matter what your business is. I might sell alcohol, but someone selling t-shirts or someone selling digital services, you still go through a lot of the same growth. You go through a lot of the same isolation. It's very tough sometimes to take yourself away from your business. Not being emotional. I'm obviously very attached to my business, but emotion, you have to make decisions not with that. So that's also been a good learning experience as well too.
So this is an off the wall question, and it is one of those, dang, I had a moment. What kind of wine or what was your favorite wine that you would sit and just drink to get you through that emotional moment? Like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, well, in winter it's red wine, in summer it's rosé. Um, a lot of tequila.
You said a lot of tequila.
Yeah. Sometimes those are some of our best nights though, where you're so exhausted and then just the light bulb goes off and you're like, "Oh, I know how I'm going to fix this now." Sometimes it is found at the bottom of a bottle of wine. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it gets worse. I don't know if I could pin down to one single aha moment because we've been doing so many different parts of the bit. Like we didn't inherit a winery that was running.
Hmm.
So we've tried different POS systems, we've tried different building techniques, we've tried different growing techniques. It would be hard to pin it down to a single aha moment, but there's something in the bottom of a bottle of wine that will tell you. Either good or bad. It's
So what's a day in life like in your shoes? Just give us an example of a day. You wake up with a bottle of wine and drink it, or you wake up and like, I gotta tackle this issue, this out here and do this
yes.
or that. So people know that running a winery or any business, it's not easy. So tell us how you go through your typical day.
You have to take care of yourself first. That is certainly something that we've learned, whether that be like a slow morning, an hour to yourself, reading a book in the morning, exercise. Definitely try to get my exercise in because it does help as much as it does physically. It really helps the mental component. Taking time to take care of yourself is super important because then I know, like, I mostly don't start my day until 9, 10 a.m because I've taken that morning to myself to have my coffee or to have my green juice or something, to have some exercise or just hang out with my husband for that first little bit. And then I'm in just like a good mindset. Then it's nothing but emails for a really long time. I feel like as much as winemaker sounds like this romantic job, like I'm out in the vineyard every day and frolicking through the vines, it's actually a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of emails. And then usually come the afternoon, we're checking on tank samples. We're visiting different farmers for different kinds of fruit because we don't only ferment just grapes. We also do honey wine or mead. So we are constantly sourcing cherries, peaches, haskell's, berries. So that allows us to go out and meet with all different growers, kind of do some networking in the evening. We have a couple wholesale accounts as well too. So we gotta maintain those relationships as well. We're also maintaining our customer relationships. We deal with our orders first thing in the morning. We're also dealing with our business to business clients where we're following up with them. Do they need more wine? How is it selling? Talk to us. Let us know. What can we do to help train your staff?
Wow, you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
got a
and then there's
lot.
social media. There's also social media, which at some point I have to be posting on. So it's a lot. It's very chaotic, but it's very rewarding.
You threw me off when you said mead. So, you do your own mead as well?
We do. So that's actually what we originally started with. My husband has very cool wine history and he's a sixth generation winemaker, but he essentially grew up in one of the oldest and largest wineries here in BC. So he's seen everything. He was driving his dirt bike up the vineyard rows when he's like 9 years old. He's on the bottling line. Like he has seen the struggles inside and out. He's also seen the victories and he didn't want to rely on a single crop of fruit for your following year's income. So he really
Mhm.
got into the honey wine and it has been super fun. It's very cool. It allows for your creativity to fly. We use fruit, we use herbs, we use flower. We do a hibiscus honey wine, which is one of our more popular ones. It really gets you creative. And that's the nice part.
Wow. So, what is your best-selling mead and wine?
Ooh, peachiation was really popular. It was different types of peach and honey, which was delicious. Also, we did a wine we called it Summer Hito because we're from Summerland, but it
Mhm.
was mojito style wine. And that was also very popular as well, too.
Wow. Wow. That sounds great. Okay.
Right?
What
That's
would you s
exciting,
that I mean, that sounds great. I mean, a mojito wine? Oh my goodness.
right?
And it probably tastes like a mojito, right?
Yes.
but with your little, like, twist in it, with your and your husband's twist in it. So, what would surprise people about how wine is really made? Do you really go like in olden days and just smash it with your feet?
Sometimes,
Oh,
sometimes,
really?
no,
Really?
yes.
Oh,
It's
no way, no way.
depending on what you're crushing, and the best part is because we use all different types. We use pear, we use apple, we use guava, we used pomegranates one time. We didn't know what to do. We just cut them open and threw them in a tank. Because we use a variety of fruit, we have to get very creative in our techniques. Sometimes the fruit's too delicate to smash on its own, like a lot of berries. So we've actually built custom fruit holders for our tanks to help with that. The grapes are pretty straightforward in terms of using a press. Some fruit we have to use a basket press for. Some fruit we use a pneumatic press for. Sometimes we're just using the heaviest sterile object we have in order to smash a small amount of fruit.
Wow, wow, that's awesome. So, what part of the process do you love the most? Which part, and which part is the most stressful? So, there's got to be a part that you love besides drinking the wine, and then at the end of the day, the tequila or the meat.
Yes.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Patient part is the funnest because you get to start with this product and then the way it goes through the fermentation. And there's so many ways to change the fermentation. Do you do a
Hmm.
cool ferment? Do you do a hot ferment? Are you fermenting in stainless steel? Are you fermenting in concrete? Are you fermenting in barrel? There's so many additives that you can use to change that final product. And then
Hmm.
the blending part. The blending days are always the funnest. It's all of us, our friends, our family. We have probably 100 glasses out and it literally comes down to 1%, 2%, sometimes 5%. And it's, you just kind of go through until you get that final fruit concoction where you're like, ah, yes, this is it. Sometimes we're even doing 0.5%, and it makes that much of a difference. And it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but it truly does. Bringing our friends and family into the winery has also been fun. There was a day when we were bottling, and it's my parents are there, our friends are there. Like it's just like a fun group experience. So that's really, it's a lot of community that's gone into that bottle, and then we get to turn around and share it with those that are near and dear to us.
Okay, that sounds awesome. But what was the most stressful part?
Sales, sales. So I learned I really like to make wine. I don't like to sell wine though. So that I definitely thought would come easier. I thought it would maybe come
Yeah.
a little faster. It's a big relationship game. We are such a small winery, and we're just a small brand. And you're really trying to tackle on the big guys who have a lot of territory, and that's tough. It is not for the faint of heart. So that's been a learning experience. We've been mostly direct to consumer just this up until last year. Then we've actually started to branch out. So we are successfully in 38 different locations, and we do actually expand mostly across Canada for some of our products, which has been
Good.
fun, but I feel like it's taking years off my life to get there.
Yeah, you just got to remember sometimes big is not better, but small is greater.
Yes.
Because people like, I want that. They only got 18 of those and they've got 100 over there. I want that because I know only 18 people is going to get this over here. Gotta
Yes.
always
Yes. And
remember
like
that.
working with
You always gotta remember that.
right? And then like
Yeah.
working with big companies, you're like, if I land this big company, it's going to be a big volume movement and they're going to buy everything. But sometimes it's really hard to work with those big companies. It's not as personable and sometimes it's not as, I guess, friendly. Whereas working with like small mom and pop shops where you get to know who's buying your product and you really they become friends after a while. You're not just a number on a list that they're supposed to follow up with. So it's been a balance in figuring out what kind of technique we want to do there. Do we just want to focus on small business? We are small business. Let's help other small business. Or do you go and try and get those big guys that are out there? It's tough.
Yeah, I see, I see. Um, let's talk about the future vision. Where do you see your winery in the next 5 to 10 years?
I hope it is one of the busiest places in Summerland. I hope that we have a consistent returning clientele. I hope to become a bigger event space now that we've regained some sanity, just a little bit, not too much, but just enough. We're really trying to focus on events. We do outdoor movies, we do barbecue Sundays, we do live music. We do this one event called Barbie Party where everyone just dresses up like their favorite Barbie doll and we just hang out in the sunshine and drink wine. So
That is
mm,
cool.
yeah, that's been the funnest one for sure. It's just kind of really honing in on our experience.
Wow. You guys do, like, trivia night or karaoke night?
Not yet. I was thinking about trivia though. We have a lot of outdoor space, so I would love to do karaoke. I don't know if our neighbors would love to do karaoke though.
Well, it sounds like you guys are, like, got a lot going on, and Barbie night is a hit. Maybe throw another theme night in there?
Yes, definitely the theme nights. We tried a couple murder mysteries last year. Those were
Oh,
super
wow.
fun and popular. Yeah, so it's because it's not just about drinking the wine. Like that part's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, we love that part. But what you're doing when you are drinking it and who you're drinking it with really shapes the bottle. It's more, there's been a shift in the drinking culture as well, too. It's not just about like the highest alcohol for the lowest price point. It is about the experience. It's about who you are with. It's becoming more emotional and it's about the story. It's about the food that's being with it. We do run a small restaurant as well in with our winery as well and that comes with its own its own issues. But it's fun making that connection and making that experience for people to remember us by not just by the wine, but by the food, by the people, by how you felt when you were here with us.
Yeah, the personal touch. You're giving it that people love personal touch. So, what innovations or trends in the wine excite you right now? What's exciting for you right now?
The non-alcoholic wine scene actually is
I was
super
hoping
exciting.
you would say
Yeah,
that. Oh my goodness. That
yes.
the non-alcoholic the NA is just blown up, and me personally didn't think it would ever happen, but it
Right.
has.
Yeah. It's
So,
it's even
sorry to cut you off there, but the NA is, like, it's growing, but go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, it is crazy the reach that we've gotten from that. We just started our own non-alcoholic wine brand last February is when we officially launched it, and it has taken off. I never thought that we would have gotten into the wine industry to then make non-alcoholic wine. But it's been really cool though. It really opens up where we're allowed to sell. Like we're in grocery stores, we're in flower shops, we're just in regular retail stores. So that's been really interesting. We also, it's very popular here in BC. There's non-alcoholic liquor stores, there's non-alcoholic bars. It is a huge trend right now. We're actually successfully across Canada with our non-alcoholic. And we actually recently got into Walmart as well too.
Wow, wow. I was gonna say Instagram would the social media would help you out with the NA beers. I'm part of the beer community there,
Yes.
and there is a few of us that, for the month of January, it's dry January, people looking at the different NA type of beers, and, but anyway, yeah, NA is, like, popping, it's hopping, and a lot of people are into it, but I didn't last for, dry January. I tried. I'm a Jägermeister woman, so, somebody, from Australia gave me a bottle of, orange Jägermeister, which I've never heard of, and it's very
Ooh,
tasty, and I've been sharing it, and it has its own unique, like, bang taste in it, so but
I
the
love
NA
that.
beers, popping, popping, popping.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. We call it damp January around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So a little non-alcoholic and a little alcoholic, just
A little twist, and at the end, that's that tequila
exactly.
to top it all off. Okay. We're gonna go to let's talk about some advice. What advice would you give to women and entrepreneurs who want to build something from the ground up?
Trust yourself for sure. Um, and try everything. You have to try everything. what works for someone else. We took a lot of advice from people at the very beginning, which was granted because it's like they have a successful business in whatever category, but we don't actually know the inner workings of their business. And I love that they have a great bookkeeping software that they use, but have they actually looked at the newer ones that have come out in the last years? We don't know that. So definitely try everything. Research, research, research. We took a year researching. We should have done more. It technically never stops. You have to be on it in terms of like the social, the trends, what's happening politically, what's happening in the world. Yeah, a lot of research.
A lot of
Stay in the
research?
know. Stay in the know, but also trust yourself. We've had a lot of people that have told us that that won't work. They've tried that and they failed, but you just never know what you're going to bring with your personality, your spin on it, your network,
Mhm.
and really rely on your network as well to feed into that. That's why we love to be in the tasting room every day because our customers are telling us. And they give us suggestions all the time. They're like, this wine would be fantastic sparkling. And we're like, oh, okay, noted. What else do you want? Okay, all right. Is this too expensive? Is what do they need from us so that we can give them the best experience? Right? Karaoke nights. All right. Okay. We'll take it down. It's
Wow, wow. That's great advice, great advice. Yeah, I just started a business myself, and that's I wish I would have known that earlier. Is networking, 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 listening, and understanding is the key thing, and then just take a leap of faith and do it. You know, you're gonna fail. We don't want you to fail, but as long as you learn from your failures, you'll be okay.
exactly. We never
So,
we never lose. We either won or we learned, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but the networking, there's something else I was thinking of. The not losing. Oh, if you're not embarrassed of the first product that you put out, you waited too long to launch. You just got to do it. Do it when it's imperfect. Do it when your label isn't your best. It's not going to matter. It's going to get fine-tuned by the end of it. You just got to put it out there.
just gotta put it out there. That's great. That's great advice. Another great advice. So what mindset is essential for anyone trying to build a legacy business? Like you right now, you're building a legacy business. What is your mindset? What's your essentials behind it?
You're in it for the long run. It is a slow game. It's going to be 30 years and I know that and that's okay. You don't want to rush it. It's just small growth. Any amount of growth is good growth. But again, it's just sticking to it, being consistent. Consistency is certainly the biggest thing for sure. Consistent, putting it out there and knowing that we're in it for the long run. We're not going to get rich overnight. I know everyone thinks that a winery is there's this weird connotation that there's just money flowing in. it's it's a long haul game for sure.
It's a long haul. Yeah. All right. So what does success mean to you now beyond awards or sales?
I guess it sounds like a stereotype, but being able to do what we want, not in terms though of taking the afternoon off and doing whatever or booking a vacation last minute, being able to share our product that we have built with the passion that we and the way we want to build it and being able to share that with people, with strangers, with friends, with family, bringing it to life. It's not the skipping out on things and we get to sleep in some mornings. That's not the freedom. It's actually really enjoying, even in the stressful times, what we are doing. And doing it with my husband as well too is very nice.
And he's like the cook. Yeah, he's the one that's running the restaurant part of it too, right?
He does a lot of the restaurant part. He's also a lot of like the mechanic, the behind the scenes. I'll come up with the idea and then he will create it for me. He will find out how to build it. I need this to do that. And he's like, no problem. I got it. Sometimes it's not the first time, maybe it's the second or the third, but that's how it works.
I'm gonna have to do a podcast with him. Hey, go behind the scenes of Madison. Okay. So what do you hope people feel when they drink your wine?
I hope they feel good. I hope they feel happy and excited. I hope they feel the love and care that goes into our products, the story that's behind it. We're not a big conglomerate. We're not a big business. I hope they feel the tears that went into that wine as I was trying to make it and make it do something. I hope they feel included. We try to share a lot on our social media and with our customers. We're very open. We love to show the difficulties in having a business and in having a fruit loss or this, or sometimes the peaches just aren't peaching and we have to pivot and do something else with the fruit that we've purchased. So I hope that they see the full picture.
Well, they will after this. So, Madison, how do a customer get a hold of you or view your vineyard? Can you give us your site information? And I see that you're wearing a wine T-shirt. Is that your wine T-shirt? Are you selling those?
I wish. I'm a big champagne girly, so this is some of my favorite champagne on here.
Okay. Well, if you got like wine shirts or something like that, so
We
that the
do.
fans here can help support you.
Yes. So definitely come visit us if you're ever in the Summerland, Okanagan Valley area. We also allow RVs on our site as well too. So you can come with the whole family, come with your camper and stay with us on our property. We have a beach volleyball court. We got animals hanging around. There's chickens that'll come greet you. So you can find us online. Oh, sorry. You can find us online at www.violetacres.com. You can find our sorry, I have to have some water.
That's okay. I'm sure that's not water.
You can find our non-alcoholic at www.drinkmuse.ca. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Violet Acres. Outside of visiting us, we also have a location page where you can see all of our store locations as well. So if you can't get to us, we won't hold it against you, but please visit one of our retailers as well too.
Okay, can you go through that one more time, but spell the viola? Some people, viola can be ole, ole,
That's true.
ole.
Yep. Okay, so Violet is spelled Veohlay, acres, acres.ca.
All right, everybody, let's take the time to say thank you, Madison. Thank you very much for being on Cali Cat Tap Talk.